Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. Guys, in this tutorial we have to make some long steps. So we will be cutting it short and we will be jumping straight into our tutorials. In this context, I would like to say that this is the final part of this tutorial, and after this the advanced CSS3 tutorial will be ended and we will be proceeding forward towards our next tutorial. And that is why we are engaging into a long leap into this tutorial, and I assume that you already have gained sufficient knowledge enough to understand each and every part of this segment. This is actually the stylesheet.css, and inside this stylesheet.css, first of all we need to do, we need to create a footer wrapper. Let's provide this height for a certain parameter. After that we will be changing it to auto, but first of all let it be provided so that we can see what happens next. And for this background condition, get back to our tutorial. So first of all, take the color codes. This is the first color. And this is the standard syntax. This is the last one. Always comes beneath, underneath. Now the footer, we have taken here, the width is 100% footer wrapper, and its height is 100 pixels, and its background is this one. So now let's get back to index.html, and here for a special purpose you may keep it outside of this div element. This is being used for a special purpose. We'll be seeing what it is practically. Now this is the website practically that has been created so far. Now all we have to do is to press Ctrl S and reload. Just reload, and we can see that there is a 100% wrapper like this one. This is a 100% wrapper, and the same thing is appearing over here. Now if we take a look into our template, we can see that there is a menu bar which is lying at the almost central position. All we need to do, we need to break this footer element into three parts actually, the parent div and its two corresponding child divs. And this time we are not applying any float left or float right condition. All we need to do, we need to place it just up and down condition. So this is what we are going to do. First of all, we are taking a wrapper which is at a width of 800 pixels or 900 pixels for say. So let's take the wrapper first, which will be centrally aligned. And the next thing that we have to do in this case is to align it into the central position. For that we know what to do. We know the drill already. All we need to do here is to place the margin 0 auto condition. Now let's copy this thing and let's call another div inside this div wrapper, and we are providing div class footer content over here. So we can see that a 900 pixels footer element, footer div practically, it appears into this footer wrapper. So all we need to do now, we need to create two more divs inside this. So let's get back to stylesheet.css, and we are creating two divs over here. And in the same manner, all I am doing, I am creating practically another div for the bottom part. There it is. Now get back to your project, and here inside this footer content part, all we are doing now, we are just calling those class names over here. Now let's get back to our project and reload, and we can see here it is. I think two distinct or separate background colors will positively highlight the context in this case. So let's get back to our stylesheet.css, and here instead of CCC we provide 666. Now let's get back to our project, reload, and we can see that this is the top menu part and this is the bottom menu part which has been represented over here. All we need to do, we need to create a menu bar at the topmost position. We are just assuming that there won't be any spaces provided for any kind of future purposes. So all we are doing now, we are just creating another div under this menu holder name. we have taken the width of this div as 800 pix, and we actually taken the width of the main footer content top menu holder as 900 pix. That means there will be 100 pix of difference from its parent div. That is why all we need to do, we need to create a central alignment, and in that purpose I think margin 0 auto condition will be the best suited thing in this particular case. So let's get back to index.html, and inside this top menu holder all we are doing now, we are creating this. Let's get back and reload, and we can see that the same div has been created over here. So this is the thing up to this part. Now the thing left here is to create that particular part, that particular menu bar that we can see over here. This is the menu bar. So now all we need to do, we need to get back to our style sheet. First of all, get back to index.html, and inside in here we may create our menu bar item. Another thing, the approach should be, whenever you are creating some tag, then all you need to do, you end that tag. If it is a container tag, then you need to end that tag. This is the prior thing that you have to emphasize, you have to concentrate on, else there could be some misleading errors or some mistakes of unclosing the tags or this sort of things. The next thing is creating the list items. Now all we need to do, we need to customize this unordered list and the menu items that we have coded so far over here. So let's get back to stylesheet.css, and another thing, all you need to remember that this thing is practically, this unordered list is practically under this footer content top menu holder menu content. So everything will be named under this particular selector name. So let's get back to stylesheet.css. Now it's a matter of calculation. It is 800 pix and there are 5 items. So each individual menu list items will be at a width of 160 pix. So this is what we are going to allot over here. Don't make it 160 pix, make it 158 pix practically, because we need to provide border right element over here. As we can see, here are some border right elements. Now all we need to do, we need to press Ctrl S and get back to our project and reload. And now we can see that these things are appearing over here. We need to change the font color here. Reload, and you see that these are present over here. Now the border right elements, we need to take care of these border rights. So the next thing, first of all, remove all those background colors that has been provided over here. So I am removing these background colors. There it is so far. So we have created them. Now the problem is the font size. Font size is very small over here. So all we need to do, we need to create some font size, and another thing, we need to change that font family to. Font size is matched. Now let's change the font family. There it is. So let's get back to our project, reload, and we can see that the font is now changed. The font family is now also changed. So we are successful in creating this menu bar and creating all of these individual contents except this last border right. We can see that there's no border right in the last child element. So we don't need any border right in this last child element. So that is why we are getting back to our footer menu content UL list. As we can see that the border right is now gone. Another thing, if we look into our template, there's a particular gap from the top. This is the thing that we need to mention, that we need to remember. So that is why all we need to do, the heights, those heights were provided out there. We need to comment it out now. Here you can see there's a gap from the top, and instead of padding top, provide it as 5 pix 0. That means from the top and bottom it will be leaving a total padding of 5 pix, and from left and right in both under both this condition from both direction, it will be leaving none from its inner cell. Press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, and you can see that this gap has been created over here. As we can see. Now let's match with our template. Here it is. If you want to increase this padding, you may increase anytime. Footer wrapper. The height is 100 pixels. So we need to clear it off, and here it is. Now there's no more height. Let's get back to index.html, and here at the bottom property name, all we need to do, we need to create a header tag. For say I'm creating an h3 header tag. Now it is just in position. As we can see, we need to place it in a central position. So just get back to stylesheet.css, and here inside this footer bottom property name, all you need to do here is to customize this h3. So as we can see over here, the template is being created. Another thing, the last thing of this tutorial, if you want to make this footer element into a fixed position, all you need to do, you need to go to this footer wrapper. Now here comes the actual width. Why did I particularly ask you to provide an outwrapper over here? Now you will see the purpose of this outwrapper and why did we place this footer element outside this outwrapper. If you carefully look into your created or built website, you can see that it is not stretching down enough. It is not, the bottom part of these featured products or these form elements, they are practically not being visible, as this footer item is practically in a fixed position with respect to the web page. So all we need to do now, we need to provide a particular space, a particular gap from the bottom, such that every part, every portion of this contents inside it are visible to users. So that is why we need to get back to outwrapper, and here all we need to mention, it was 50 pixels, no, it was 100 pixels. So we are leaving first a total gap of 60 pixels, and we need to see what is happening over here. Just leave it, and we can see that it is now, which were practically suppressed under this footer element, it is now being visible, getting visible over here. And the only amendment that we had to make over here is in this outwrapper position. We just changed its syntax from margin bottom to nothing to margin bottom to 60 pixels, and that is why it is now getting visible to us. First of all, let's zoom out, and we can see that each time you are zooming out, it is practically laying at the same bottom position where it should be. That's why the position is practically being fixed over here. So guys, this is the thing that we had to share in this tutorial. We have created a particular website. We have created a complete website over here along with a form element, along with some images and captions, with those drop down menu bars, and with hovering properties of images over here with less opacity. The main and basic thing is, every time you are approaching to create your own template, then all you need to do, first of all, before you are doing anything, this is the main purpose of this website. The first thing is, all you need to do, you need to create a mother wrapper that will hold all the contents inside. This is practically the basis. Get back here and deactivate this comment, and if we now reload, we can see that each and everything is coming under this outwrapper condition. That means I have created an outwrapper first, and then I have wrapped everything, every contents inside this outwrapper. So this is the first thing, and then you just go on with creating your contents. In the next tutorial, we will be talking about mobile responsiveness. If we just press Ctrl+Shift+M, and if we look into a mobile browser preview, we can see that there's a horizontal scroller appearing at the bottom of your web page. This is not evitable in case of a mobile device. If you liked our tutorial, please do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button. Hope to see you guys in our next tutorial. Till then, bye.